Hi, my name is Gil Robertson, president of the African American Film Critics Association. Today, we are thrilled to talk to someone that we love here at AAFCA, the multi-hyphenated Salli Richardson, director, actress, just Renaissance woman, about the new season of Winning Time on HBO, as well as all the other projects she has in the works. We're going to kick things off by introducing you to the AAFCA members who are on our roundtable today, starting with Jill Monroe in Los Angeles, Mrs. Karan Kelly in Charlottesville, Virginia, Nancy G, also in LA, newly moved to LA, Albert McGee in South Florida, and Dana Abercrombie in New York, New York. And we'll be soon joined by Katia Woods, who is offboarding on a plane right now from Toronto. I'm going to let you guys do what you do so well, and I will see you on the other side.
My friends, the future of sports is purple and gold.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, it is time. Woo! Magic and the Lakers are back to defend their title.
What a time to be alive. It's my fucking time.
You can't have the money, the power, and the love, Urban.
How about this for a headline? The greatest who ever lived is a goddamn Celtic.
Ain't nobody scared of Larry Bird. Sit down there, relax. Put on a show just for you.
They've won their rings. We've won ours. None of it meant shit. Because it wasn't against them.
This is survival of the fittest. It's not about basketball. It's about winning.
Win on three. 1, 2, 3, win!
That is what I'm talking about.
Well, good afternoon, Salli Richardson-Whitfield. How you doing? I'm Al McGee here with YETicket.com here in Boca, but I'm from Chicago, just like you are.
I'm liking that background you have. I'm into it.
Oh, thank you very much. Well, you know, like I said, I'm from Chicago, but I've always been a huge Laker fan since the way back in the day, even when Wilt Chamberlain was on the team. And also, you know, with this series, and it's based on the season when Magic Johnson joined the Lakers. Now, you directed a few of these episodes. Why did you do that? Is it because you're a basketball fan? Well, I know you're an artist, you're a director, but what really turned you on about this series?
Well, I am definitely a basketball fan. And, you know, I grew up in Chicago, so Bulls girl, but even if, you know, growing up, I was a Bulls fan, I was always a Magic fan too. And the opportunity, once I read Jeff Pearlman's book about this time period, it was such a wonderful read, and, you know, to learn so much about the history of the Lakers, then I really wanted to tackle this format. I also am someone who likes to do different kinds of projects all the time. And the idea of coming in and doing a period piece in the 80s with so much basketball, it's like doing a huge action sequence. And to really try to master that format was a challenge for me, and probably most importantly why I wanted to do it. Just something different.
Wow. And I have really enjoyed this series. I watched the first season. I'm watching the second season, and I really enjoy this. Thank you very much. And again, we appreciate you that you are a fan of the African American Film Critics Association. Thank you very much for that.
Absolutely.
Hi, Sally. Karan Lenoir from Karanism.com. Excuse me, Karan Lenoir Kelly from Karanism.com and Love Music Pleasure. And speaking of all of the different kinds of works that you put your hands to, your work is so diverse. And over the years, we've watched you grow as an artist. We're watching you grow in real time as a director. I want to know what makes a winner for you. How do you choose these projects when you're so willing to stretch yourself?
You know, I've always, as a viewer, loved different genres. The reason why I did The Gilded Age is because I absolutely love period pieces, and there's not very many where we get to see ourselves in it too. And it's sort of the detail of those pieces. So that was something that was exciting to me. As an actress, I started out as in sci-fi world. So, and that was always something that I loved too. So I was like, okay, I'm going to start here. And that kind of work really helped me be ready for these big showcases. I mean, Winning Time is a humongous machine. So as much as some of my other work seems like it doesn't really match up with Winning Time, it was all those kind of small things and medical shows and cop shows and all of that prepares you to do something of this magnitude. And I say that because to me, Winning Time right now is still one of the biggest challenges that I've ever had to overcome. It's it definitely takes a team. I have a wonderful team there of writers and my DP. But yeah, steering that ship has been has been quite exciting and exhausting journey.
Well, it's exciting for us to watch as well. Thank you so much for your gift of artistry to this world. I really respect your work so much. Thank you
so much.
Hi, it's Anna Abercrombie from the Coalition. This show is based on reality, but it takes liberty at times. And so I really wanted to dive into, I believe it was episode 5, where Magic Johnson is essentially blamed for Paul's firing. He's booed, he's called spoiled brat. I wanted to know from the mindset kind of what he is going through, how do you think that impacts him in the final episodes? And do you guys take liberties within that?
Well, that actually happened,
Right.
So what's been great about this year is that we sent this sort of companion guide with our episodes so that you can see what really happened and what didn't. I think in a drama, there's always some liberties. I mean, if you think about it, when I get done with this conversation, I'm barely going to remember what I said here. So go back 20, 30 years, you don't remember what really happened in those private conversations. But I think that, if we think about Magic and people blaming him for that firing, as he goes on, he has a lot to prove, and he has to grow up too. You forget that Magic was a young kid, and how do you now become the leader of this team? And so throughout the last 2 episodes, he learns a little more humility, he learns more teamwork, and I think he becomes the Magic that we all now have learned to love throughout the years.
I'm Nancy Green with Film Critique. Hi. Can you hear me? Okay. Okay, so I was really curious. I read that, and you've talked about it here, that you also know a lot of these players. So I have kind of a two-part question. One of the things I really like is how it's filmed, that kind of 1980s aesthetic and everything. And so I wanted to know, did you also like kind of run these by like some of the players to see like how they thought of it? Like what they thought, and can you talk also about what went into deciding how to design the series?
Well, the first season, Adam McKay obviously set up what the look was going to be with Todd Van Hazel, our DP. And the idea was, how do we really make it feel like the 80s? And, a lot of that is all of that is by really using the same kind of cameras that they would have used in the 80s. And that's why most of the time, or all of the time, you can watch it some footage and it really feel like you're watching vintage footage. In particular, when you get in the game, we are using the same cameras that they used back then. So you could pretty much put our footage up against the, some YouTube footage, and you won't be able to tell the difference. And then to your other question, I think that this is the conversation that no one has with me. I know it's almost like I could say hi to you. Everyone kind of ignores the fact that I'm doing the show. And I get it. If somebody was doing my life story and I didn't have any say in it, I would be a little irritated. I've been happy to be a part of it, really fully this year, because I do feel, I don't have complete control over anything, but I do think that I'm there. And because I know some of these guys in real life, mostly through my golf, because I play a lot of golf and they all play golf, I can kind of raise my hand if something doesn't seem genuine or seems wrong. I can go, and give my opinion. And I feel that the producers in the show, they respect my opinion on it. I particularly feel like very motherly over the Magic and Cookie relationship, because I know, to me, those two people in real life, no matter whatever the drama behind the scenes, I see two people who absolutely love each other now. And I've been really fascinated about their journey. So I always try my best to portray, no matter what's going on with the show, what that true love is, because I know what it is in real life. So that's my little motherly thing over the show, is that no matter what else goes on, those two love each other, and I know it's true.
Okay, that's great. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Hi, Jill Monroe, RSVP with Jill Monroe on KBLA Talk 1580. Salli, I actually talked with you last week, and we talked about that you love directing dramas. And so you pointed out that there's a lot of family drama and dynamics that are in this season. But what I didn't ask you is, what was your favorite scene to direct from this season? Like, what is something that, brought out even for you as a fan viewing it, but you're, guiding the ship?
There's some stuff with Quincy Isaiah, who plays Magic, in his home in Lansing with his family. They are just, I'm sorry, coughing a little bit. They have such a wonderful dynamic, and, amazing actors playing his mother and father. And it's just the intensity of the work in those scenes. And it feels so, so real. I think I love those the most as far as the drama. And then, although it was painful to do, in the last episode, actually in the next to last episode, we have a very complicated basketball sequence that me and Todd Van Hazel, the DP, really are the architects of designing. And although it was this crazy puzzle and it was very intense to design, when you see it, which is next week, is this new episode coming up, you'll understand how proud we are of it at the end of the day. So I think those two things would be. Oh, and wait, I got one more. There is a sequence with Jerry Buss and his kids, I think in the first episode, with this scene of them arguing over Monopoly. It was so good. It was so good. I had so much fun. I love when it's like there's some intensity between him and his son, that where you can just feel that some violence could happen at any moment. I love that, because that's real family. That's real family drama that those actors brought to it themselves. And that's when it gets good, when it meets visually with the writing and the actors finding something new at the same time. That's when you get something very special.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Hey, Salli, this is Al McGee back again. And also, I am a Bulls fan, too. Also, I love the Bulls, too.
Bye.
But one of the best actors, not best, but one of the actors that I really enjoyed for over the last 20 years has been John C. Reilly. And he's a veteran actor. How did y'all get him to, act with Quincy Isaiah and Gabby Hoffman and other younger actors? And also, how did you get him to be Jerry Buss and learn more about Jerry Buss, because I really didn't know a lot about Jerry Buss because I haven't read all the books. I mean, and things like that. But man, this guy really makes me feel he's Jerry Buss.
Well, first of all, like you said, John C. Reilly is an amazing actor already. And then you pair it with, I think that in reality, he was born to play this role. So we now put those two things together. And John C. Reilly has an amazing work ethic. You know, he is bringing all of that. That's all his work that he has done at home to make sure that he is honoring that character in the right way. All of our actors, you know, Adrian Brody, they are putting in that work, especially Quincy Isaiah playing Magic. So he plays like Magic. So he smiles like Magic. You know, we're just very lucky that Francine Maisler in the first season cast people who are just brilliant actors. And I think somehow paired with that, like the universe planned that this will be the perfect roles for them. So I'm hoping that this next season, I hope that next season these actors, you know, get noticed for this incredible work they're doing, because I think last year, you know, we were snubbed a bit, maybe because of the drama, but there's some performances that are happening that should definitely be noticed.
Wow. And you know, that's what I like about this series. It is the drama, the behind the scenes that we as fans, we don't get to see because we don't know these people personally. And I really enjoyed that part. And I'm glad that they're not really focusing on all the basketball playing, but the drama and how they really feel emotionally as basketball players. I feel this is well written, and you did a great job too directing your scenes. Thank you very much.
Thank you. And I just want to say, I think that that's part of what makes our show exciting. You know, these guys all came up when there wasn't any social media. So you don't know, like nowadays, you know what everybody's doing, right? You know what they ate for lunch. You don't know. There's a mystery behind all of those players, Magic and Kareem. And now you get just a little insight into what was going on during that time. And I think that that is what people are loving so much about our show.
Yeah, that's what I love about it too. Thank you very much.
Hey, Salli, it's Karan again. So you speak so highly of your actors and you're an actor yourself. I'd like to know, what is your favorite part about directing? How does it feed your soul versus how acting feeds your soul?
Well, I think you kind of, you said it. When I know when someone has given, like they're always going to get good performances. Okay. I'm looking for the great performance. And that great performance usually is when I feel it in my gut. You know, I'll be looking for that. I'm watching them. I'm like, it's good. Everyone else is sold on this, but I don't feel it in my gut yet. And being able to work with an actor and talk about how we, you know, how I get everything I know that's inside of you. As an actress coming up, I don't know if I ever worked with a director who pulled out everything I had to give. And so it's really important when I work with actors to try to pull it all out of you. And sometimes you need a little help. Sometimes you need someone to whisper the right thing. Sometimes you need me to yell at you. Sometimes I may need to punch you in your arm, you know, whatever. But, you know, I really, that excites me. It excites me when people live up to what I know that they can be. And I think that if I ever went back to acting, which one day I think I'll do something, I think that I'll be a better actress because of what I've learned as a director. And it's really about being brave and not being afraid to look stupid, because you have to try things and you have to maybe go too big, or, you know, and it may be silly, it may be wrong, but the only way you can find that great performance is to be brave and try anything. And we have those kind of actors.
I love that. But I got to ask, when did you learn to trust that?
As a director?
Yes.
I think that for some reason I naturally had that. And I think it's why I decided to become, you know, like kind of leave my old life. Is that the first time I started, like within my first 1 or 2 episodes of doing Eureka back in the day, I went, oh, I get this. And I was already okay to trust my instincts more than in acting. I really trust that if this is what I dreamed and I visualized that this is what this scene should be, that's what we're doing. And that's how you have to be as a director. That's how you have to be as a great actor. But for some reason in directing, I just really trust my instincts.
Well, I am grateful for it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hi, Dana Abercrombie again. What I love about this show is that it seems like one scene that you've taken out of context, it just flows, but it's really connected to another scene. And with that, we talked about the Monopoly, how they was playing a regular family game and how it turned into such chaos. But it also revealed a part of Bus's mindset of how he views, you could say, people as money and commodity. Then we switch over to the scene where Kareem is confronting him about Magic's terrible $25 million contract. I was wondering, in developing this season, do you put in small pieces that later will have a bigger meaning episodes later?
I don't, but the writers do.
Oh,
Good, honestly, good writing, that's what you should be doing. You drop these little crumbs and hopefully there's a payoff at the end. We also have brilliant editors because this show is hard to cut together. There's a lot of things. There's a lot of scenes that have been cut that maybe was too much or it didn't make sense once we put it together. You're sort of weaving this puzzle together. And so a lot of what you see at the end is working very closely with our editors to do exactly what you're talking about, making sure that we are dropping these little breadcrumbs and that there is a payoff at the end of it. And you understand where you go, oh yeah, that's why we did that. And again, I love that scene so much you're talking about because it has so many different layers and it's so real. I mean, how many times in our life are we just having some simple conversation with a family member and then the next day you like, I don't even know how we got to where what happened? Why did daddy do that? And you just, it's family.
Hi, Nancy again. So earlier you were talking about the relationship between Cookie and Magic. And one of the relationships that really fascinates me with the show is the relationship or the animosity between Kareem and Magic. And I wanted to know if you could go into that a bit more and like maybe talk about what liberties were taken with that and also how true to the real life situation it is.
I mean, I think it's the general feeling of their relationship that is true. I mean, anytime you are the leader of a team and a living legend like Kareem, and then there's like this usurper who comes in, of course there's going to be friction. I mean, there was friction with Shaq and Kobe. Like, how do you get these two superstars to find a place? And then you have the old guy and the young guy, like how do we find a place where this works? So I think it's close to accurate how the relationship started and how it grew. The writers really do their due diligence, not just read, based on Jeff Pearlman's book, but a lot of these guys wrote their own books and they talk about these things. So, and then you have stuff online and there's other books, so there's a lot of stuff to pick through to come to the conclusion of what that relationship was in the beginning. I mean, people talk about how, I'm going to say Kareem may have been I would say a little cold, in the beginning and how he had to learn to warm up a little more humility as he got older. But all of that is, I think, pretty well documented.
Okay, nice. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I really like how this is turning out. So yeah,
Oh,
it's
thank you.
fantastic.
I can't wait to see these last two episodes.
Hmm.
They are so good. They are so exciting, and I'm so proud of them. And I'm like, come on, everyone, watch it because you never think it can get any better than that. I'm sure I'll go on and do maybe another season of this show or something else. But right now, those two episodes and the whole season in general has just been a joy to work on this year and some of the best stuff that I've, been lucky to direct and produce and be a part of. So I just want to get people out to watch it.
Nice. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hi, Sally. Jill Monroe again. So this season, you added executive producer duties to your directing duties. I want to know from you, how much time does that add to your day? What is your day-to-day like on the episodes that you aren't actually directing, but being there for the other directors and involved? How much time do you give that?
So, I mean, basically that just means I'm there every day if I'm doing a director. I mean, if I'm doing the episode or not. So I'm in all the meetings with them. And really my job is not to be tapping them on the shoulder every second. It's just to make sure we're still keeping the continuity of the show. Hopefully be there if they need anything, if the actors have a question that maybe a guest director doesn't necessarily have. Luckily, we had Tanya Hamilton from last season, another Black female director who's amazing, who kind of, who knows the show already. And then we had our DP this season. So he but it was his first episode. So, he definitely, and we work as a team a lot anyway. So, I was there to help him. So it's just really to be there, continuity. I can know if something doesn't seem right, because I think there was one time we had someone was doing, I'm not going to say who, was directing a scene with some camera movements that we don't do on that show. We do have, even though it doesn't seem like it, we have rules to the show. And I can be there as a gentle reminder going, I need you to get this coverage too, because that's not necessarily our style. Although I would like you to have the freedom to do it, we just need to be safe and make sure we have everything that we need, because this is just how our show runs. So hopefully it's not to bug people too much. And then I'm also there through the whole editing process. Last year I'm there through all of post, color correction, mixes, press. So it makes it's much more time intensive than just coming in and directing the last 2 episodes.
And also, you mentioned that you shoot on the same style cameras from back in that time period. Does that mean that a good portion of this is shot on film in addition to digital?
No digital. No digital. It's all film, 16 mil, 8 mil, this thing called Ikegami. So all film.
Sally, now I know last season you also had directing chores with Gilded Age. Can we expect to find your handprints on season 2, which is about to premiere?
Yes, in October. So I did not direct this season because obviously Winning Time was, it kind of started bumping up. But I did start the season with them, working on sort of help, what the new storyline was going to be for this year. When our first director was there, I was up there doing kind of what we're talking about, just sort of making sure everything was a smooth transition into this next season. And like one of the directors, what's been so great about this, I was able to get another Black woman, Crystal Robinson, an opportunity. We're at this point where you are ready, but you haven't been given that shot. So I was able to bring her in, and there were a few times where, she had some questions and she could call me and we can talk about it because I know the show and let's figure it out, because I want her to be, successful. I want her to knock it out of the park, which she did. So that was sort of my job this year. I kind of popped in and out, and Winning Time became my my new baby, and my teenager was off and running by itself.
Well, this is terrific. Well, we thank you again for your time. We're always here for you. And on behalf of the world's largest group of Black film and TV critics, and thank you, by the way, I see one of your AAFCA awards behind you.
I know it.
Yeah. Thank you. Yes. Love you, doll.
Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
AAFCA Roundtables. Have a great day.
Nice.